Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everybody. We live, Habibi.
Assalamu
Alhamdulillah.
alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Alhamdulillah. We got a good brother with us here today. We're gonna be clearing the air about some things. This we're gonna title this series. Hopefully, inshallah ta'ala, we can all stay consistent. We keep our series going. I got about 9 different series open that we ain't closing out on. But we all working brothers, and we all trying to make it happen for our families. Alhamdulillah, Rabbil Alameen. So this series we're gonna call it "Airing It Out." We're
Inshallah.
gonna air it out. So for those who don't know what the urban term "air it out" mean, we're gonna spray the whole block up, and then ain't gonna be no confusion when we done shooting it up. So that's what we're gonna do. We've been waiting to do this type of video for a long time. It's been in the works, y'all. Please excuse me. I'm not looking at the camera. I'm trying to get my settings straight on my phone. Um, but we've been working on this for a while. It's been in the talks. The brother, sorry, I was rude. I didn't introduce the brother. This is Abu Isa Gooding from the East Coast. You from Philly, right, brother?
I most recently lived in Philly. I'm from North Jersey, originally. Yeah,
Oh,
but
okay,
we living in Philly for a little while now. Alhamdulillah.
okay. Alhamdulillah.
Mm.
Uh, so Alhamdulillah, you're a student of the Hanbali Madhhab, correct?
Naam, alhamdulillah. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay, so so let us be clear about all of this. We are students. We serious students though. We don't play with us. We students. I'm a student of the Maliki Madhab. I have my shiur, brother Abu Isa. He's a student of the Hanbali Madhab. He has his sheikh. So we are in training. We are most definitely in training. So
Naam.
what we say is not absolute. It's not in stone. It's not airtight. It's not. Well, it's pretty much airtight because all we doing is pretty much narrating, and we know that there's a big gap, at least in our communities. There's a big gap um, with the mainstream, mainline shuyukh and and us. Just to be honest, we from the hood. We gonna keep it real, man. We from the hood. Not a lot of big time scholars come to the hood. We ain't got a lot of money to pay,
Mm.
honorariums, and we don't have big, huge masajid that people would dream of speaking in. So our people get caught up in the sauce. We get lost in the sauce, as we like to say down here in
Naam.
Cincinnati. So this is our initiative. That's what this whole platform is about. We both have permission from our teachers, from our shuyukhs,
Naam.
to they know what we know, and they trust us enough to make these kind of videos. So and they know we're not going to delve into ijtihad and giving fatwas and comments. We ain't going to get into that. We don't do that. That's not what we do. But we are relaying what is the haq, and that's why we want to. That's the initiative with this group. With the 18, with the name of this group, the whole nine. So,
Mm.
with that being said, I wanted to get a perspective from the horse's mouth. Horse's mouth. As y'all know, it's on site with me and the Salafis. I love my brothers and my sisters. I love them. I do, because they Muslim. They are not non-Muslim. They're in trouble though, and I'm trying to help them. I love them. I love them. I love them. So that's what this is. It's tough love. Like I said, we from the hood, so it's tough love. But we're trying to give an insight, a foresight from within the actual Hanbali Madhab. So the issue at hand is that our Salafi brothers and sisters, like the knowledgeable ones, mind you, anytime we saying anything, any of these kind of things, or we dealing with this topic, we mostly talking about the knowledgeable ones, and then we got the
Yeah.
people who are following the ones that are knowledgeable. So I'm not machine gunning the whole entire Salafi community.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them really won't and can't get this technical. That's what happens with all the Facebook arguing in the groups, and then everybody copy and pasting, and then 1,200 comments later, ain't nobody learned nothing. So,
Nah, nah,
so,
nah.
um, so inshallah, we can. So, what I found in my works in the community, and I've been teaching for over 10 years. Just what I know. I'm not Sheikh Abdul Kabir. I'm Talib Abdul Kabir. Um, I've noticed that whenever the Salafi brothers and sisters get tripped up, they kind of recourse to the Hanbali Madhhab, and or they're
Mm,
quoting Hanbali scholars, and that's for a reason. So
mm,
we have an actual. We don't. Number one, there's not a lot of Hanabila at all anyway, so it's hard for them to defend themselves. Number one. Number
mm.
two, there's a reason why there's not a lot of Hanabila in the world. And inshallah ta'ala, we could touch on. I spoke with the brother Abu Isa a lot about that. Inshallah, we'll touch on that. Number three, um, the first people, and Abu Isa taught me this, the first people who were fighting the Wahhabis were the Hanabila. They
Nah.
were the first ones fighting them, and the first ones that were persecuted by them. And so they have a very very critical participation in this, which I guess we can call it the Aqidah wars. This is important because we feel like this thing is like spreading like wildfire. So the Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, we have to speak up and speak out. That's all this is. It ain't nothing personal to nobody. This is technical. It's contextual. So anybody hear anything that they don't like, we just narrating. We're just narrators. Just like with the story with Umar and Abu Huraira. Umar heard that Abu Huraira was reciting hadith against his call and command, and some people were concerned about that. So Umar went snatched him up. He went grabbed him up by, he twisted his beard around his head, and was like, "Man, you reciting hadith, and I told you not to." But he's like, "Hey, I'm just narrating. I ain't giving no fatwas. I ain't. I'm just telling you what Rasulullah said." So uh,
Yeah.
I guess that's
Radiallahu
kind of
anhuma.
Salafi.
Sallallahu alayhi wasallam.
I guess. But we're going to relay the viewpoint of Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah in relation to that.
Inshallah.
We're just relaying that. So the first thing I'm gonna inshallah, I got a couple issues I want to put to the brother and let him speak on it from inside of the Hanbali Madhhab. Because we all saying, oh well, this scholar Abu such and such Al Hanbali said this, and it's being misinterpreted on both sides, on all sides of the spectrum. So it's the best thing is the horse's mouth. Like that last video I did, we got the Salafis taking off with a quote that they attribute to Imam Malik. So I'm in the Maliki Madhab,
Mm,
so I'm speaking out. I'm like, we don't. That's not taught in none of our books, none of our curriculums, none of our shuyukh have that viewpoint. So if from within the madhab we are not thinking like that, then how can people who are not in the madhab think like that? How can y'all get that out of what was said? Y'all got to look at that last video because I don't want to make this video about that video. But they
mm,
were misquoting and misinterpreting a quote that was attributed to Imam Malik. So that's what we doing here, because the Hanabila were literally like when this whole thing kind of got started, like the Hanabila were like it involved them. It didn't involve any of the other scholars for the most part. So all this controversy involved the Hanabila, and our
mm.
Salafi brothers and sisters. They like to say that when they get trapped up, they like to say the Hanbali, and I hope that we can establish today that that is not the actual case. So inshallah, I'm
Mm.
gonna let the brother Abu Isa introduce himself, and then we're gonna put the questions. Bismillah.
نعم بسم الله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم. Now, as the brother mentioned, my name is Abu Isa Gooding from America. Alhamdulillah. I live in, well, I used to live in Philly, not now, but yeah, I'm a student of the Hanbali Madhhab, traditional Hanbali Madhhab, not anything, new or, going back. We go back to Imam Ahmad, radiallahu ta'ala anhu. I apologize, I'm not looking at the camera right now. I'm actually driving, so work with me, inshallah ta'ala. And now we can start, inshallah ta'ala.
Inshallah. So this give the people a little, tell us a little bit about yourself. What was your upbringing? How'd you come to Islam? That whole thing.
Mm,
Let the people know who you are, because inshallah, you're gonna be you in the rotation. Alhamdulillah, and it's been a
nah,
transition because you was overseas. MashaAllah ta'ala tabarakallahu fikum. So now you back. Alhamdulillah.
barakallah.
And so inshallah, you got more time to contribute. So tell people, like, how'd you grow up, how'd you become Muslim, the whole nine.
Now, alhamdulillah, I was, I ain't gonna tell my age and get old now. Nah, I'm 35, man. I was born in '86, alhamdulillah, in Brooklyn, and we moved out to Jersey, Roselle, New Jersey. You know, um, I grew up out there. I was not a Muslim. I was actually born into a Baptist family. Now, I never believed in, the Christian doctrine, but when I was about 17, 18, I became an Israelite, Hebrew Israelite, not the messianic ones, the ones that be out in the corner yelling at people. That wasn't my crew. You know what I mean? We was Torah keepers. You know what I mean? We followed the Torah. We didn't believe in Isa being the son of God or anything like that. Most people just took a neutral stance. But um, when I joined the army, and I went to Iraq. I was in Baghdad, and
Subhanallah.
while I was there, I ended up accepting Islam. Alhamdulillah.
Subhanallah.
Um, so I learned how to read Arabic while I was there, and within 3 days, I was reading Surah Fatiha. I accepted Islam at the hands of the Shia. You know,
And they
Alhamdulillah.
got a strong presence there.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's crazy. I
I didn't
took,
know you seen all that though. That's crazy. Subhanallah.
yeah,
You got to see
Alhamdulillah.
all that.
Yeah. It's a blessing, man. Went out there. I took Shahada with an M4, fully loaded. You know,
Subhanallah.
so Alhamdulillah. And I
Alhamdulillah,
came
you
back to
still
the
here
states,
and you
and
Muslim. Subhanallah.
Alhamdulillah. Yeah, but that's. I ain't really got much to say. I'm married, Alhamdulillah, 4 children, beautiful children, Alhamdulillah. Yeah,
Alhamdulillah.
that's really it, man. I ain't got much. I'm a
Alhamdulillah,
boring
short and
guy,
sweet.
man.
Nah, you far from that, man. But so okay, alhamdulillah. So what was your experience in Islam in America? After you became
Okay.
a Muslim overseas, what was your experience in Islam in America?
Now, when I came back, I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I went to the first masjid I could find, and that masjid was actually from the War of Deen community. So I found that it was like it was weird because it was like, yeah, the imam, the imam, the imam. And I'm like, who is this imam? I never heard him mention, Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So I went to another masjid and I found that, dealing with the Somalis and the Arabs and the Pakistanis was really difficult for the African Americans. So um, I moved back to Jersey, went to Trenton, and then from Trenton I ended up going to Philly. And that's when I ran into a brother. We was talking, and he was like, "Yeah, we got the hawk. We on the hawk." And he's like, "We Salafi." I was like, "What?" He's like, "We Salafi." I was like, "What's that? Salafi? What's that?" He was like, "Yeah, Quran and Sunnah, Quran and Sunnah." And that was my introduction to Quran and Sunnah. You know what I mean? But
So
that
you
was
spent some time with them, with the Salafi brothers, like so you
yeah,
practicing
yeah,
it.
yeah. Um, I wouldn't say I mean, yeah, I practiced Salafiyya, I guess. I mean, I had no choice. that was
That's what you was
the
introduced to at
default.
that time.
Yeah, that's the default madhab, let's call it, of the black community in America. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, it is. It kind of has turned into the madhab in the black community.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like I started taking classes from Dr. Bilal Phillips, and in his
Mm,
program, he starts talking about, yeah, we're literalists, and the Esharis are this and that, whatever, whatever. And you like, okay, so you start learning about Aqidah, and understanding that the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are taken according to the Arabic language and things like this. So that's the introduction for most black Americans, man. And you know
fair enough.
you just can't take that back to Rasulullah sallallahu. That's the
With
bottom line. Who said that? Was
alhamdulillah.
it so
So
cold?
how did you what was your transition like? So you sitting with them brothers, you rocking with them, boom, boom, boom. When
Mm.
did it dawn on you like something ain't right?
Um, I would say maybe about 2 years ago. I was uh I was reading. What was I reading? No, you know what it was? I saw my brother Mujib. He sent me a video of Sheikh Asrar and Abdurrahman Hassan, and they were talking about tawassul wal istighatha bin Nabi بعد موته صلى الله عليه وسلم. And that that debate opened my eyes to a lot. You had very simple explanations of things from the Salafi crowd, but then on the Ahl Sunnah side, and Sheikh Sarah, he's Ashari. Um, things were not as simple as they were made to seem by the Salafi, uh, people of knowledge.
Group.
You know, so I saw something was wrong. So I'm like, okay, let me figure out what's what. Now I have found a teacher, and he was in Egypt, and he was teaching me fiqh. So he was like, look, you gonna run into most people you run into, you gonna run into them, and they're gonna be Hanbali, and they don't even know it.
I say
And
that all the time,
you know what I
man.
mean. So now at the time I was like, huh? But he was a Shafi. He's a Shafi. Hafidhullah. He taught me a book called Manhaj al-Salikin. Now I know now that that book is not necessarily a Hanbali fiqh book, but okay, that was the closest I can get to it at the time. So from that time, I ended up falling in love with the fact from being from the Hanabila, or following the Hanbali Madhhab, let's say. And
Inshallah.
I ended up finding out, okay, something's not right. Something ain't sitting right. Salafi and Hanbali, they saying this, but you got now. I saw a website. I'm sorry, I'm probably rambling. I apologize, but saw
No,
a
no, you
website
good. You
where
right on key.
it was it's called darul tahqiq.com or something like that. But what they did was they took the statements of Ibn Qudama, Shaykh Islam Muwaffaq Ibn Qudama, rahimahullah, and they were saying that he said in this book this and that book that, and I'm like, wow, this goes completely against the statements of the Salafis about what he said, right? So they were saying he said we have to believe in the attributes of Allah according to the Arabic language. According to what they were saying, and they had the Arabic there, he was saying, no, you believe in them tafweelan, meaning you don't know what the meaning is. We don't believe in them with the meaning. We don't believe in them when it comes to a kayf. We don't say how, we don't say what it means, right? So something I'm like, okay, so we're the traditional Hanabila. I asked the question in the group. They gave me some names, and I went and looked them up, and I found them. Alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guided me to Ahl Sunnah.
MashaAllah.
You know.
MashaAllah. That's a
Mhm.
beautiful story. It's very similar. My first sheikh, Sheikh Ayub Muhammad al
Mm.
Hansbai al Hanafi,
Yeah.
he told me a long time ago I was confused about why the whole entire world was not Muslim. I was like, this is I'm like, look at this, like I'm like, this is the truth. and
Yeah.
I was like, how in the world is the whole world not Muslim? And
Mm.
the sheikh, he told me something similar, like what you went through. He was like, when somebody makes it up in their heart that that's what that they want to be Muslim, that they want to serve Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, Islam will find them. And I
Mm.
was like, wait. I like, how's that possible? He was like, look at you, where I grew up, where I come from the inner city, Cincinnati, in the hood, gang banging, drug selling, the whole nine. Caught a
Alhamdulillah.
case. I'm in the middle of prison, and in the county in prison, all of a sudden, the skies is opening up, and I'm Muslim. Like there
Alhamdulillah.
wasn't. I didn't know no Muslim people. I had no people influencing me or none of that. I just made my mind up. I was done with the dunya. I was done with of course, with crime. I have a choice than
No.
to be done with crime because I was going to prison. So,
No, no.
everybody get religious when you go to prison.
Aiwa.
But and everybody come home Muslim. So that
Alhamdulillah.
was an old stereotype. But like
Hey
you,
man,
that's
but you stayed
alhamdulillah,
on the
that's
path,
beautiful. That's
alhamdulillah.
inshallah ta'ala, man. Allah ta'ala preserve us on the path. But we
Ameen. Ameen.
we went through some things. We had transitions, we had phases, and now alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. Like even like my sheikh, like my sheikh came out of nowhere. Like it was, and
Mm.
I didn't do a whole lot. I just made my mind up, and I did turuk. I was following what I was following, and then and it just kind of lined up. It's
No.
beautiful to
No.
hear that story because that's how Allah works. It's not hard. Like we ain't gotta
Mm.
go through no whole lot of this and that. It's not hard. If we make our
Mm.
mind up, the Don Allah Ta'ala say, like if we come to running, here come we come walking, here come running or something like. Isn't the
Mm.
ayah like that? So
Yeah, hadith, yeah.
that's testimony then.
Hadith.
Hadith, okay.
No.
That's like okay. So jump back in. You mentioned something. I wanted to. This is the first question. I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess kind of the first question. So since you already mentioned it, I want to get on it. Ibn Qudama.
No.
I
Rahimahullah.
know the Salafis love Ibn Qudama. I know they love him.
Mm-hmm.
We no they misinterpret. They don't understand Ibn Qudama. So
No.
you correct me if I'm wrong. You and your studies with your sheikh, y'all are very acquainted with the works of Ibn Qudama, correct?
No. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
So that's the first thing. That's the first
Mm-hmm.
thing. So in order to truly understand Ibn Qudama's position, not saying we truly understand him, but you're acquainted. Uh, you gotta
Mm-hmm.
be a student. You can't pick up a quote of his or a book of his and be like, Ibn Qudama said this, right?
Right, right, right. I mean, you
And
got to
that's what we
look
got
at
going.
multiple,
The context.
try to, yeah, you got to look at multiple books he wrote. His usul, right? He wrote a book on usul,
That's the deepest
usul
end. That's
al-fiqh.
the deepest end of it.
Yeah, so when you look at his principles, he says one thing, but that thing that he said there does not match up to what some people, Salafis, let's say, Wahhabis, what they say he means in his books. You can't mean what they say he means, what they say he means, if you look at his principles. It's impossible. Look at his book, Lumat al-I'tiqad. After Lumat al-I'tiqad, you got Sirat al-Mustaqim, right? You got so many books. Dhamm al-Ta'wil. Take all these books, not just little statements that you can take and they're vague and say, oh, well, see, he says it right here. Nah, you can't do that. Can't do that. You know?
That's the biggest problem, man. That's the biggest problem because now that we have began to expose uh, uh, like the Ben Bazes and the
Mm,
Thaymins and the
mm.
Fawzans and I don't know the rest of them. I don't know the Mudkhala guy. I don't really know much about him, but I keep hearing his name.
Sheikh
But
Rabi'. Sheikh Rabi'. Yeah.
so now that their positions have been uncovered, now it seems like they kind of it's like they retreating in the war, but
Yeah. Well,
in their
actually,
retreat,
not to cut you off, but something
uh,
many people don't know. Sheikh Uthaymeen, he actually recognized that Ibn Qudama was a mufawwid. He
Oh
recognized that he was
yeah,
a mufawwid. Yeah, he said he was affected by the people of Tafweed, and
he
but
said he's
he is the
affected.
furthest from them, and he's a yeah. He said affected by them, but he is the furthest from them. He's the Imam of Ahl Sunnah. Ya akhi,
Whatever that
ya
means.
habibi. You know what I mean? So
Whatever that means.
yeah, man. You know,
Hey,
so
my brother
and that's
Abdul Rahim, salam alaikum. What's going on? That's one of my sahabas from the joint, man. We went through some
alhamdulillah.
things, boy. That's my brother, solid. Now, you know that's
Assalamu
gang. That's
alaikum
gang.
wa rahmatullah.
I got my brother in here, man. That's my brother right there, Abdul Rahim. It's good to see you. Robert Lewis. It's good to see you, man. That
Alhamdulillah.
yeah, so that I'm glad you threw that out there, man, because that's where I want to get with these videos and this initiative is that I started a series of the Salafis misinterpret the classical text. So this kind of goes in that light. Ibn
No.
Qudama is really like, and also I know you very engaged with Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah. I know you very engaged with him. So and you know those two right there, like any claim, like in their retreat of the battle, they can recourse. You know, they're Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. So and they, you know, we agree on them. The Ummah agrees on them. Of course, we got some differences. Of course, ain't this show, but when they retreating, they retreat there, and when
No.
they retreat there, we leave them alone. We leave them alone, and then they regroup. They take their senzu beans, and here they come again.
Yeah.
So I'm coming where they retreated at. we go. I want to go up under Ibn Taymiyyah. We might have to do that one on another show. I really want to focus on Sheikh Islam Ibn Qudama because you
No.
know of the
No.
two, I'm me personally of the
Sheikh al
two.
Madhhab. No.
There it is. Yeah, I'm gonna work with Ibn Qudama. He's he's the big dog. He the big dog. He the big
No.
dog.
Rahimahullah.
So when we talking about the Hanbali Madhhab, Ibn Qudama is what to the Hanbali Madhhab?
Like I said, Sheikh al Madhhab. This is the most important sheikh after, well, let's say from the most important sheikhs, shuyukh from the madhab or of the madhab after Imam Ahmad radiallahu anhu himself. So
Mm.
like Qadi Abu Ya'la, Ibn Qudama. Matter of fact, Ibn Qudama is from the Shaykhan. Shaykhan being the two sheikhs that you look at when you need to find out, the Mu'tamad and things like this. You go to his work and you go to Majd al-Din ibn Taymiyyah, the grandfather of Taqiyuddin ibn Taymiyyah, the one of that everybody has controversy with, from both sides. His grandfather and Ibn Qudama, these are the two sheikhs of the madhab.
Alhamdulillah.
These are the two sheikhs.
Alhamdulillah.
So
Okay,
that's
I
his
didn't know
level.
that. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. You teach me stuff. That's what's beautiful about this. You know, we can look at this thing from every angle and every perspective.
No.
With that being said, so we from within the madhab, you already said
Mhm.
what it is about Ibn Qudama. So moving
Mhm.
forward with individuals, anybody who likes to quote Ibn Qudama, I mean, you have a private conversation about Ibn Qudama, and you said it
Mhm.
straight. You said it straight.
Yeah.
I read something, I can't remember exactly what it was, and he was being hard. And that this we coming in soft, and they're gonna go in hard because I'm
No.
Ash'ari. I'm a student of the Ash'ari method. So
Alhamdulillah.
just to put it out there, everybody, if y'all don't know, there was friction with the Ash'ari madhab and the Hanbali madhab, but it was scholarly. It was scholarly. It was contextual, and it was technical. It
No.
wasn't any of this, you know what, slinging that the Salafis like to do,
Yeah.
throwing people in and out of Islam. It wasn't none of that. It was technical, and it was legal, and it was legit.
Mm.
So, with that being said, I read something that I couldn't understand the viewpoint of Ibn Qudama.
Yeah.
The issue that everybody is fighting over, all three groups, the Hanbalis, the Ash'aris, the Ash'ari, because I know I got the Salafis on my Arabic. They're like, you don't even know Arabic, so how can you make videos? Like, hold on, because you got to make it so people can understand it. I mean, I don't be trying to confuse people because them the worst videos that you can watch. That defeats the purpose of making a video. Because ain't nobody reading, so we making a video so that we can communicate what everybody is not reading and not learning. That's what this is about. So the Ash'ari and the Salafiyya. We all fighting over this issue of tafweed, and Ibn Qudama was he was a gangster when it come to this. He was the big dog. He was on it. He was on one, as we like to say. That's what it is. He ain't playing no games. So first, for everybody, explain what tafweed is.
Okay, tafweed is one type of what we call ta'wil. And I have to put this out there because when it comes to Ibn Qudama, you have to understand these two types of ta'wil in order to understand what he's saying. Ta'wil is interpretation, right? So you have general ta'wil, ta'wil al-ijmali, and then detailed ta'wil, ta'wil at-tafsili. Tafwid is another word or name for the thing called ta'wil al-ijmali, which is general ta'wil. What is it? Okay, let's say we take an ayah such as ما منعك أن تسجد لما خلقت بيدي. What has prevented you from prostrating to that which I have created with my yaday? Notice I didn't say two hands. Yadain in Arabic means two hands or yadan. To do tafweed, what you're going to do is you're going to say, Allah said yaday. He knows what that means. I don't know what that means. I believe in it without knowing what it means. I relegate or I leave the knowledge of it or return the knowledge of it back to the one who said it, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, how do you understand the ayah? We understand the general meaning of the ayah, right? But we don't touch that word, yaday, the attribute, the sifa. We don't touch it. Allahu a'lam. We believe in it. That's it. We submit to it. That's tafweed. Is that clear, or should I clean it up a little bit?
Yeah, that's clear. So basically, these mutashabihat, or the how do you want to translate the mutashabihat? I don't want to speak on your behalf. Or
you could say unclear. The mutashabihat,
okay, yeah.
It's unclear. Yeah.
The unclear verses in the Quran, stuff like hand of Allah, shin of Allah, the Qudsi, all this stuff, all this controversy, this stuff, the mutashabihat. Allah Ta'ala said some are clear, some are not clear.
No.
One thing you helped me, you helped me learn was that the people who have a sickness in their heart, they go after the meaning.
You know where I read that from when we talked, right?
No, what? Ibn Qudama?
That's Ibn Qudama. You know what I mean?
MashaAllah ta'ala. MashaAllah ta'ala. And brother cut out. Probably driving through some mountains right now. Oh. Allah, we're gonna wait, give him a second to come back in. Inshallah. Brother driving the truck, so he probably didn't went into some mountains or something. Okay. I ain't sound too loud. All right, all right.
Okay.
I'll just get ready to sing my song, my commercial jingle, man. Yeah.
Mashallah. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm out here in PA, man. You know, PA, big mountain, man.
The
Like,
mountains, that's what I figured. That's what I figured.
yeah. But
Okay, so Mutashabi had these unclear verses. The meaning of these verses, how we deal with them. That's what tough. That's basically so tafweed is passing it along, not translating, not going into it. Just you recite the ayat and you
mm,
confirm the ayat. That's it,
mm,
right?
that's it. Submit to it. You believe in it. You pass it along as it. You recite it. Matter of fact, what's that narration from the Tabi'in? Tafsiruha qira'atuha. Its explanation is its reading. You read it. You don't
Mm,
explain it. Read it. Let it go.
that's beautiful. That's a beautiful statement. Stop, boy. He gonna knock over my thing. Okay, so all right, so inshallah the people have an understanding of tafweed. So this is the issue that everybody is at odds with. So coming in
Mm,
soft, uh, the Hanabila slash Ibn Qudama, they had a thing with the Ash'ariyah
mm-hmm.
because the Ash'ariyah, we took a position where we felt like there were so many people of bid'ah
Mm.
coming and trying to interpret the mutashabihat ayat, the unclear verses, in the wrong manner. And it's let me know if I'm wrong or not. From my studies, what I've learned is that Imam Ahmad was just kind of salty that they were even entertaining it at all, and
The Asha'ira?
everybody. Well, yeah, that he was upset
You mean Imam?
that they were, huh?
You mean Ibn Qudama or Imam Ahmad?
No. Imam Ahmad. I'm trying to go to the root of all of this because everybody else weighed in on it
Mhm.
afterwards. From what I've read and know so far, Imam Ahmad had an issue with what was Imam Ash'ari Sheikh's name? I can't think of it right now. Uh,
Ibn Kullab. His
Ibn
name?
Kulab. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ibn Kulab. Ibn Kulab
Hmm.
was doing ta'wil, and Imam Ahmad was like, "Don't even entertain these guys. We ain't going into it. We like none whatsoever." But Ibn Kulab felt like we could let's give it its proper context. Not it was. I mean, it's really a lesser form of tafweed if you look at it. It's not
Hmm.
actually ta'wil. We're just telling everybody like, hey, it ain't physical. It's not literal. And that third group came in a little later. But initially, I think is that how y'all see that initial conflict? Not conflict, but disagreement between the Ash'ari and the Hanabila.
Um. Honestly, I don't know. I'm not sure about the altercation between or the disagreement between Imam Ahmed and Ibn Kullab. If I'm not mistaken, that has something to do with, from what I understood before, it was something with Kalam Allah, but I'm not sure, so I can't really
Yeah. I
comment
read
on
that
that.
too. It was like a specific issue, and it was kind of like how we got things going now. One person said something, did something, and then it just hit fire, and then everybody talking, everybody weighing in on it. But it
Yeah.
wasn't a matter of belief and disbelief, correct? Or shirk and not shirk, right?
Shirk and not shirk? No, definitely not that. As far as Ta'weel, of course, I mean, it's haram. So this is not even an issue of being a Muslim and not a Muslim. This is sin and obedience. You know what I mean? So basically, Ta'weel is, um, according to the Hanbali Madhhab, is haram. So the person who does it is sinful. It has nothing to do with whether they're, from the, murtad or whatever. This is like going way out of line. You know, that's,
Okay, that's
that's
what I
way out of
wanted to
line.
get at. That's what
Yeah.
I wanted to get at was this third group, the issue, who are the people who are the people that we're addressing, or why at the, the goal of this initiative They made
No.
it into, at best, that's what that situation was. We don't see it as haram from the viewpoint of the Ash'ariyah, where we look
Mm-hmm.
at it as what's preferable and what's not preferable. Our viewpoint, as
No.
far as I know, is like we do tafweed, and if we have to, we can say Allah Ta'ala did not actually sit on the throne. We can say that. And they don't go no further than that. We don't say it looks like this, is this big, it's this shape, it's the size of the head. Haram alayk. We don't do none of that. We don't do none of that.
Yeah.
What we
Yeah. I
do
mean,
when
for
we
for
do
us
ta'wil, we
is
say, nah, not that. We don't know, but not that. Which is also,
well. Here's the
that's a
thing.
stretch.
This is why I said not to cut you off, but this is why
No,
I
go ahead.
said we have to understand the difference because for the Hanabila we do tafweed, but we reject the literal meaning of Ar-Rahmanu ala arsh istawa being, if say someone says, okay, linguistically this means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sitting on the throne. A'udhu billah, this is kufr. This is kufr according to the Hanbali Madhhab. You cannot say that. You cannot say that. That's straight kufr. Uh, what does it mean? Allahu a'lam. It doesn't mean that. I know that.
Right.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fis sama.
Right.
Does this mean Allah is in the heaven? I didn't say that. I said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is fis sama. But where did you get that from? From what Allah said. What does it mean? Allahu a'lam. I have no idea. But I know to say, oh yeah, well it means this because Allah is so. You see, listen, now you're interpreting and you're giving a bad interpretation. Now the Asha'ira, they do interpretation, but they do it out of tanzih. So they do it to say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said Ar-Rahmanu ala arsh istawa. Okay, this means He has control over the throne. Okay, tonight. The Hanabila say it's haram. Okay, but mashallah, you didn't say anything, unbefitting of Allah. Alhamdulillah.
Which is the issue.
That's the end of it.
So we got
Which is the
that
issue.
out. We got that out there. That's out
No.
there now. Alhamdulillah. Because so this group of people and individuals that don't understand the nature of this conversation, who are confused themselves and try to weigh in on it, it's established that
Yeah.
that them making this a matter of belief or disbelief or making partners with Allah. That's not in our history. That does not belong to Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Am I correct in saying that?
No.
So
No, definitely.
we got the
The Asha'ira,
disagreement amongst the
Maturidiyya,
scholars.
Ahl Sunnah. No. No.
Done. Done. So nobody can say that. No matter who they are, nobody can say that. So these people now, so transitioning into the hard stuff, to the
Mm-hmm.
hardcore stuff. So I wanted to hit that from that angle. I wanted to confirm that because I've even had a Salafi refer me to a Hanbali group, and he was like, "Here, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
put some of your stuff in the Hanbali group, and these brothers gonna get you together." I'm looking in the group; they're not saying nothing different than what I'm saying. They're saying what you saying,
No.
but this guy's a Salafi. He's not a Hanbali. So
No.
so there's the issue there. This is just to give uh make this to metaphorically speak. I know y'all like that word metaphorically, but metaphorically speaking, this is a difference of fiqh. It's a different viewpoints, and they both have their legitimacy. Like the as far as I know, the Shafi'is believe if you touch a woman, her wudu is broke. The Malikis, we don't. That's a huge thing because we're talking
Mm.
about our
Mm.
purification, which is necessary. This is mandatory to have before we make salah. So, but
No.
we have differences, and both have their evidence. Both have their
No.
evidence. So if you Shafi, cool. If you touch a woman, you break a wudu, boom. I don't know if that's the mashhur opinion in the school. Saleh, if you still on here, is that the mashhur opinion in the Shafi'i madhab? Is that the majority opinion? But it, but the just to continue, if you Shafi, you Shafi, you that's how you rock. That's how you rock. I'm me being Malik. I ain't gonna be like I ain't praying behind that brother. I'm not. We ain't gonna go that far with it. No, and vice versa. Like
Yeah, brothers be
we ain't
going to
gonna
the
do that.
extreme, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
that's dead. So that's dead. So that we speaking of the stars, Ibn Qudama, Imam Ahmad, Ibn Qulab, Imam Ash'ari. We speaking about the giants of Islamic scholarship and giants within Ahlul
mm,
Sunnah wal Jama'ah.
no,
So we are showing that. So the Salafis are saying they are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Where? Where you fit in at? Because right now, live, we're disclosing our viewpoints, and I started with our differences, so that can't nobody come because I know how they play. They come and they be like, oh well, Ibn Qudama and Imam Ahmad didn't like each other, and some of the followers got into a fist fight and all this mess. We done with
yeah,
we just spoke on that. We spoke on that. It's a difference of viewpoints with scholars who are legitimate. Moving forward, let's jump into the hard stuff.
no,
The Salafis have legitimized themselves. We haven't. They have legitimized themselves by calling themselves Athari, i.e., Hanbali. So
yeah,
that's how they, you know, that's their claim to fame to associate themselves with Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Because Imam Ahmad and the Ash'ari and the Maturidiyya, they've been on the scene, they're in history, is documented. This stuff that
yeah,
they talking about is not documented. It's not in history. We can't go
no,
back to the time of the Salaf and check and reference what they are saying right now. So the
mm-hmm,
way that they retreat, they like, oh, I'm Athari. Can you be Athari and not be a Mufawi?
no,
oh, oh,
no,
I wish I could spin it back. I wish I could DJ play that again. So on one
no,
end, in their books, they're saying to do tafweed or to be a mufawweed. For all the viewers who don't know, what we went through tafweed. A mufawweed is a person who ascribes to tafweed. We just
mm,
explained that. So if you just jumped into the video when we done, rewind it a little bit, or watch it from beginning to end. um, uh,
mm,
uh, on one end they're saying if you're a mufawwid, this is haram. This is the furthest thing away from the sunnah. This is shirk. This is bid'ah. This is irtad. He's a murtad. They going all the way in on us. So, but on the other end, when they're being what do you call it? When they're teaching and they've been intellectual, and we're talking about Aqidah, they say, "Oh, I'm Athari. I follow the Athari creed." How can you follow the Athari creed if you're not a Mufawwi? Because this is the sky.
no,
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. What? Okay, no. I'm gonna let you. I'm because this is about the Hanbali Madhhab. You're my Hanbali representative. So, what is the lingo of being Athari? What do you see that as? How do y'all use that? Where
the
did it, I
lingo.
mean, if you can, where did it come from? Like saying Athari, because honestly, if you go deep, like way back, we say people were saying, "Are you Maturidi, Ash'ari, or Hanbali?"
Mm,
I've never
mm,
seen in that era, in that time period, anything in the riots. Of course, I haven't seen all the riots, but I haven't seen like Authority, are you Maturidi? Or this brother was a good Maturidi scholar. This brother was a good
yeah,
Ash'ari scholar. This brother was a good Hanbali scholar. When we talking about Aqidah, I have not seen somebody say he's a good Authority scholar. This kind of all this type of lingo kind of like it came out of being Hanbali because y'all stick to the what's narrated and what's said. Am I wrong? Am I right?
no, you're definitely right. I mean, athari, like, like, if can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm right with you.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, athari is synonymous. with Hanbali. But what it is basically saying Ahl al-Hadith. But because Ahl al-Hadith is already taken, and these are talking about the people that follow the Hadith, that term is already taken. So when you talk about Aqidah, you have to say it in a different way. This is the way it's explained to me by my sheikh. So what term did they use? Athari. Clear. Now, it could theoretically be said that if you're Hanbali in fiqh, you're Hanbali in Aqidah, but if you're Shafi'i in fiqh, you're Hanbali in Aqidah, it wouldn't make sense to say I'm Shafi'i in fiqh, Hanbali in Aqidah. You could say I'm Shafi'i in fiqh, Athari in Aqidah. So that would be you know, the when
Synonym.
Athari would be used. Or yeah, it's the synonym. So
Yeah,
basically,
yeah.
if you're Athari, you're Hanbali in Aqidah. Where does it go into something else and become something else? This is a claim that people make that they can't prove when it comes to the isnad nor the books. What are the books of the Athari Creed? What do they teach? Aqidat al-Wasitiyya. What else? Oh, Al-Hamawiyya. Okay, Ibn Taymiyyah. Both of these are Ibn Taymiyyah. What else you got? Because I know for the Athari or the Hanbali, matter of fact, there's a book. It's a Hanbali book written by Sheikh Abdul Baqi, Ibn Abdul Baqi, Al-Hanbali. He wrote a book in Aqidah. It's called Al-Ain wal-Athar fi i'tiqad Ahl al-Athar. Listen to the
What'd you
title.
just say?
Listen to the title. Al-Ain wal-Athar
Like
fi
specifically
i'tiqad
dealing with the author.
uh-huh في اعتقاد أهل الأثر أهل الأثر in the aqidah or beliefs العين والأثر in the aqidah or beliefs of the people of the athar or أثر أهل الأثر. Who's أهل الأثر? أهل الحديث.
And they claim that too.
They claim that, but they don't claim this book. They won't claim
Mm,
this book. This book is like
mm.
is too
It,
eshari
it
for
burns them,
them.
huh?
It's too
It burns them,
eshari
huh?
for them. Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a book. In this book, you open it up, and he says, فمن قال فمن اعتقد أو قال أن الله سبحانه وتعالى بذاته في مكان فكافر. Whoever believes or says that Allah, with His essence, is in a place, then he has disbelieved.
La ilaha illallah. Only if you study. Only
I
if they
mean,
study. Enough said.
and
Hold up, you went out. Hassan Watson, when he come back in, inshallah, we're gonna give him your question. I also Hassan Watson, that's a good question. I also want to know the same thing because I know the Salafis, they love Imam Ahmad's son. So inshallah, we'll get the brother's perspective on that as well. I've heard
can you
both
hear me?
things too. I've heard yeah, okay, you back. Okay, what was you saying before you went out?
Assalamu alaikum.
Ready, Salam, can you hear me?
Nah, nah.
It's a little choppy. Yeah, Latif Ilahi. Yeah, inshallah. Yeah, he was
I,
I assume you got your question actually, Latif. Inshallah, brothers, Wi-Fi will chime back in until the brother come back. Inshallah, just kind of recap things. Uh, So we're talking to a student of a very, very,
I
very,
got cut
very,
out,
very
but
famous chef. Okay, you back? You back?
I was saying that
Okay.
that book.
You're here
Assalamu alaikum.
twice. Walaikum salam. Yeah. I wanted to keep that other freeze screen, man. That was a good shot of you, man. You should make that your profile picture.
Oh,
You was in the mood of teaching right there, man. You had your shake finger out and everything, man. That was a good picture.
mashallah.
Okay, what was
Couldn't
you
squeeze
saying?
me out of it.
I was trying to,
Mashallah.
it just went
No, no,
out.
mashallah. Now I was saying that that book, um that's a more timid book, a relied upon book for the Hanbali Madhhab or the Athari Madhhab, or whatever you want to call it. It's a relied upon book. And anybody who claims to be Hanbali, they should have studied that book. Or claims to be Athari, they should have studied that book. You know. And I do want to point
Alhamdulillah.
out at this time that books like Aqidat al-Wasitiyya, Aqidat al-Hamawiyya, these books are not from these are not from the Mu'tamid books of the Hanbali Madhhab. They're not even taught in the curriculum. Nobody teaches these
Subhanallah.
books. Nobody learns these books.
That's gonna be my part two, inshallah. I wanna make that part two where we put Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah put his where he fits into all of
Rahimahullah.
this. As we know, that is
No,
that's the big one. But I definitely
that's
wanted
the
to get
Salaf.
this. Oh, absolutely. But as of recently, I wanted to hit it a little soft because as of recently, we have a lot of misunderstanding. I've been seeing Sheikh Ibn Qudama's name all been misused too much, and it's
Mm,
hard to text.
no.
Nobody can beat a Salafi in a post-war or texting. Nobody can copy and paste better
Copy and
than them. They
paste.
got they
Yeah,
got that. They
yeah.
got that down pat. You know what I'm saying? And they little
Nah,
pamphlets that they
nah.
got. Like they got all that stuff memorized and they got it stoned. So inshallah, once they start seeing this hop, they're gonna be good students of fiqh, inshallah, because fiqh takes a lot of memorization. But it's a question. But
Inshallah.
just to wrap this up, because
Mm-hmm.
we just at an hour, which is good timing, and I think we got a lot of good information, a lot of good points discussed. Just to wrap up, Ibn Qudama, basically, he is not a proponent of how the Salafis are trying to use him, correct?
Correct.
And in order for a person to be Hanbali or Athari, oh no, excuse me, in order for a person to be Athari, they have to be Hanbali, right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
technically,
Yeah,
because I
it's
could
the
be a
same.
Maliki
Yeah,
and be
technically. Yeah.
Athari. I could just
Right.
be a Mufawwid. Let me rephrase that. In order for a person to be an Athari, they have to be a Mufawwid.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Yes. So, and third and lastly, all of the Salafi books, not all of them, but the big ones, the famous ones, the ones that people draw off of, they all talk about how tafweed is haram and it's shirk and it's
Mm.
kufr and it's irtad and all that stuff. On the record, Ibn Qudama is at a level. Ibn Qudama was a mufawwid first. He was an Athari. He was
Nah,
Hanbali. All of that. No,
nah.
any of those guys, Fauzan, Bin Baz, Uthaymin, the whole gang, they're not on his level, correct?
No, they're not. No,
And they don't have the right to say the stuff that they have been saying, correct?
no, they do not.
And that stuff is not found in the Salafi Salih, correct? Salihin.
What they say?
Yes, what they say and they are attributing. Because like you said in the beginning, they use
No,
Ibn
you will
Qudama.
you'll find yeah. What you'll find is that they'll quote from the Salaf, they'll quote from the Hanabila, they'll quote from Ash'ara, they'll quote from the scholars of Hadith and say, "Oh, see, they said this." but
when
it's
it
their
suits them.
understanding. It's their ta'wil
Yes,
of what these shuyukh are saying that
yes,
that is incorrect.
that's the issue.
They're doing
That's the
ta'wil of these statements. Like tafsiruha qira'atuha. They'll say, well, see, the fact that they said that this means that it's understood by the language. Yeah, okay, that's ta'wil. That's complete ta'wil. I don't know where you get that from. Tafsiruha qira'atuha. It's he read it and that was it.
and he
There was no
passed. That was
understanding. That
it.
was it.
That was
Yeah.
it.
So
That
yeah,
was
I
it.
mean, you have to be moved forward in order to be an Athari, which is a Hanbali in Aqidah. And um yeah, I mean there's no strands to the Athari Aqidah. As a lot of people are saying now. You know, oh
It's
yeah,
simple.
that's a
I
different
heard your
strand.
sheikh.
Like no, it ain't no
I,
strands. Uh-huh.
I heard your sheikh say on one of his videos, uh, 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 an argument like the Salafis could not debate with the true Atharis and the true Hanbalis because the debate would last 2 seconds. As soon as they ask you,
No, he was
where's
talking
the
about.
law?
I think I know what you're talking about.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
uh,
He was talking about the Sha'ira. That there's no, we can't debate because it
oh,
lasts,
okay, yeah.
like you said, two
Yeah,
seconds.
two
Yeah,
seconds,
he was
because
saying,
it's just tafweed.
well, where's Allah? Yeah, exactly. It's just tafweed.
Yeah,
And if you
we're not
say,
going. It ain't
okay,
gonna
well,
go
I'm
in it.
wrong. You say I'm wrong and saying it means such and such. Yeah, okay, it's haram.
Yeah, yeah. So
And
so
that's it.
so
There's nothing else to
so
say.
so they don't
Hmm.
fit. So that what they're saying is not Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. No matter how many times how big the beard of the sheikh, how beautiful his imama is, if he's way
No.
over in Saudi,
Salafiyya,
if he in the desert, because you know how that kind of stuff plays
definitely.
on
I
their
put it to you
brain.
this way.
They're like, if
I
that
put
guy
it to
looks
you
like
this
that,
way.
he's a sheikh.
Yeah, I put it plainly for you from the Hanbalis. According to the Hanbali Madhhab, Salafiyya is not from Ahl Sunnah. This group,
La ilaha
Salafiyya,
illallah.
is not from Ahl Sunnah. It's that clear. Matter of fact,
Period.
I heard from one of the Hanbali sheikhs. I'm not even gonna say that. I'll leave that there. I'll leave that there. It's not Ahl
That's enough
Sunnah.
said.
Let's leave it there.
That's enough. That's enough said because the other three schools of thought also say the same thing.
Mm.
So now
Alhamdulillah.
that's why I said in the beginning they
We
all
on
are.
one accord.
That's my point. At the beginning, that's why I said they've been retreating and they've recourse to Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal said, Ibn Qudama said,
Mm.
Taqiyuddin said, they do that
Nah,
like
nah.
because they know we don't, and it's too much, too many red flags with the whole Brady Bunch
Yeah,
with
yeah.
Ben Baz, with they mean the whole them too many red flags. So they know they can't come to an intellectual argument or some brothers who
Yeah.
know
And
a
they
thing or
were not
two and say
Hanbali.
that.
Utaymin, Al-Albani. They were not Hanbali or Athari in Aqidah. They were
So
Salafi.
how can they
There's a
teach it?
difference. Exactly.
How can you
Exactly.
teach something that you are not? Okay, so
Exactly.
we're going to wrap that up. Inshallah, part two, as soon as we can get it put into our schedule, we're going to talk about Taqiyuddin ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahumullah, and his position in all of this.
Rahimahullah.
The Hanbali Madhhab owns him. Nobody else does. I don't care what nobody says. They tell us not to follow Madhhab, and following Madhhab is, following a man, and we're supposed to follow Rasul. But the person that they love so much, they claimed they love so much, was a Hanbali, big Hanbali.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
inshallah,
Yeah.
that's the next one. We're gonna bring that his position in the Madhhab. We're gonna talk
Mm.
about that next and hit it from that angle, inshallah ta'ala, and clear all this up. As a brother posted a question,
Inshallah.
Hassan Watson.
Nah.
I see him on the platform a lot. Hassan, I really appreciate you
Okay.
giving us the time of day and your contribution, brother. We students and we having a conversation. We would do this all the time at Ta'aleem. Sheikh, my first Sheikh Ayub, he would like throw a question out there, and he would want to see what we think. Like he would let the students, debate and and he knows what Sheikh Ayub knew what he taught us. So he wanted to see
No.
who said what and who knew what. So that's kind of what we like to do on here. Inshallah, when it's time to bring
Alhamdulillah.
the shuyukh in, we're gonna bring them in. So yeah, stay tuned. I said that to say, we're not like big shuyukh and big internet guys, and we got big
Nah,
fundraisers. We
man.
ain't
Just
none of
small
that. We
students,
average
man.
dudes. Yeah, we students, we average dudes, we work. As y'all see, I'm always working. You see the brother is at work contributing. We're just trying to impart the understanding. That's it, so we can set some things straight. Or like how the youngsters like to say, put some straightening on
No.
it. The brother Hassan
Yeah.
Watson, he said, I wanted to ask you, Abu Isa, about the son of
Mm-hmm.
Imam Ahmad. Was he a good source for his father's madhab? Very good question.
Okay, Abdullah.
Yes, Abdullah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was a narrator. Yeah, he's a great narrator. Alhamdulillah.
Because what isn't there some controversy surrounding him?
Yeah, a book. I mean, I'm not gonna say I know the intentions of the brother's question, but um, yeah, I mean, he was a good narrator according to what I understand, what I've been taught. Yeah,
So that's a thing within the Hanbali Madhhab.
Abdullah ibn Ahmed.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, I
he's
mean,
accepted as a
yeah,
narrator. I mean, is he accepted as a faqih? Can he get fatwa? Or was he just narrating from his pops?
from what I understand, he was a narrator from his father. Like for instance, the Musnad of Imam Ahmed is narrated from Abdullah.
Ah, ah,
You know,
okay.
so
So there's not
he
much
was a
fiqh
narrator.
that comes from him then.
No,
Oh, okay.
no. I
So
mean,
the
he's not
Salafi
one of
can't really
the.
make
No, I
what.
mean, they do try to name him as a person that narrated a book of Aqidah that they claim comes from him, but
Mm,
that's um
that's
that's
not in
something
y'all's
else. I mean,
curriculum, though,
the
right?
only book. No, I mean it's not even it's not thabit. It's not like it's not it's what's the word Sahih from Imam Ahmed that he wrote this book.
Mm.
The
Now,
only book that we can say is Sahih from Imam Ahmed is Usul al-Sunnah. The only book of Aqidah, Usul al-Sunnah. And one of those riwayat is not accepted.
ah, okay.
So,
See, that's what's good. We
you
getting
know,
it all out here. We hearing from the horse's mouth. The brother said he heard that there
yeah.
were some
So,
problems with his aqidah. Is that a conversation within the Hanbali Madhhab?
yeah, there's a book. Now, is it actually from Abdullah? Allahu Alam. But um,
It's
I,
out
I
there and
I
people
can't say
attributing
whether
it
or
to
not it
him.
was from him. Yeah, it's attributed to
I
him,
mean,
but it's not. Yeah.
it looks like kind of similar to that last video I did when I was talking about the statement that they attribute to Imam Malik with the whole al-kayf majhul.
No.
It doesn't match up with all of the other narrations or everything that any of his students
Exactly.
ever produced, or what we all know to be that is sahih, that is connected to Imam Malik. It doesn't match up, so we can reject
Exactly.
it on the basis of that. Is that kind of the similar situation with that with that book?
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, really, we can't. For instance, let's look at Aqidah, right? In our school, and I believe it's the same for the Ash'ari and Maturidiyya, you can't accept something for the primary issues of Aqidah unless it's Sahih. It has to be Sahih,
Yeah,
right?
that's definitely our
Now,
position. Yeah.
these books, alhamdulillah, these books that he's talking about, or this book, whatever, it's not Sahih. So just look at it from the same angle. You can say it is what it is, but listen, No, it's not sahih. So there's what do you call it? Difference of opinion, ikhtilaf. But we have a curriculum, and that book is not a part of it. It's not
Okay,
relied upon.
put some straightening on that.
Simple.
One of one of my brothers is on here. one of my former
Mm.
students. This is one of the guys I was talking to y'all about in our group conversation. Abu
Uh-huh.
Zahra Siad. He said, "Boy, you keep changing your name." This my guy, man. Ibrahim, this my guy. It's my guy, man.
Alhamdulillah.
He said, listen to a lot of the shit of the shuyukh in Saudi uh, are referred to by the American government. Why is this? The Salafiyah, to my understanding, are just people who claim to be followers of the Quran and the Sunnah, as well as followers of the Salaf, who were the predecessors of Rasulullah. I mean, I'm sure he meant the successors of Rasulullah. Um, I had a few
Mhm.
conversations with some Salafi brothers from Michigan and Philly. They weren't extreme. Everything I seen and heard from these brothers was Quran and Sunnah. I don't know. And Imam Hanbal was a great Imam, rahimahumullah. He said I meant they are referred to as Salafi. Okay. I got something for him. He knows me.
Mhm.
He knows me. That's my guy. That's my little guy. So I'll let you respond to him, and then inshallah,
Can,
I get with him
can
on it.
you clarify exactly what is the question though?
It's not really a question; it's a statement. He basically saying he messing brothers from Michigan and Philly. Remember when we were talking this morning? I was like, we look to y'all. That's why I said y'all are
Yeah, yeah.
critical. This is a prime example, man. He said he messed with brothers from
Now,
Michigan and Philly, and he basically saying they seemed like they was all right. They seemed like they was all right. Everything that they did say was Quran and Sunnah, and they seemed like they was all right. And I guess he's saying that they were closely associated, claiming to be closely associated with Imam Ahmad. That's what this whole program was about. Ibrahim, you got to go back
yeah. I
and
mean,
check it
I would
out.
say, yeah, yeah. I would say go back and look at it from the beginning. And if you got any questions after that, then go from there.
Yeah,
But yeah, somebody can come and give you quotes from the Bible and the Talmud, the Jewish Talmud. Are they upon haqq? It, so what?
right, right,
They can quote.
right,
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, the Mu'tazila, the Jahmiyyah, they're gonna quote Quran. They're gonna quote Sunnah. Will they come in with the haqq?
right,
Listen,
right.
if you want to be from Ahl Sunnah, there's three groups of Aqidah, there's three schools of Aqidah, and there's four schools of fiqh. In Aqidah, you got the Hanabila, the Asha'ira, the Maturidiyya. In fiqh, you got the Hanafiyya, the Malikiyya, Shafi'iyya, Hanabila. That's it. There's no Salafiyya. There's no this group, that group. No, period. It's all with it. Matter of fact, Ibn Taymiyyah said it himself. He said the Sharia, you cannot find the Sharia outside of the four schools.
Mm.
Allah,
I have that book, as a matter of fact,
Allah.
in defense of the four imams.
You
I
know?
don't know if that's a particular book
Yeah.
you're referring to, but that's mentioned in that book from Sheikh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah. So
Mm.
he said again, he
Yeah.
asked the
So
question, why do they call the shuyukh from Saudi Salafi? So this goes into like what I was saying before a little bit ago. We see the brothers, like with the big imama, they most of the time they're gonna be Arab. They got the nice shawl that's coming down, their beard is big and beautiful. And when we see that, and they got the
yeah,
beautiful, nice white Saudi throw, that Saudi white in those throws is different. It's a different kind of white. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So it kind of glows a little
yeah,
bit.
yeah.
That makes us
Angelic
recollect, like,
white.
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like, wow, that's probably how the Sahaba used to look. You know what I'm saying? So, so that
Yeah.
plays on it. So,
Yeah, I
like
was
the
telling you,
brother just
man.
asked, why was the Saudi shuyukh refer to themselves as Salafi? So you missed it at the beginning, Ibrahim. You missed it at the beginning. The brother clarified, like he was over there, and so like he was Like he's seen it. He was around it. He was in the army, so he was over there, and he actually just came back from not to put your business out there, but he just came back from Egypt just to study. With his chef. So you can speak from experience. I know there's a lot of people that have been all around the world. I hear it all the time, but explain to the brother why the Saudi shuyukh are referred to as Salafis.
Because that's what they call themselves.
Not what we call them.
Yeah, I mean, Salafi. Where is this name in history, in the Islamic history? It means nothing. Honestly, it it really means nothing. It's like, they were called Wahhabi before they started calling themselves Salafi.
That's what I was looking for.
The brother of Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, his name is Sheikh
Even
Sulaiman ibn Abdul Wahhab al Hanbali. He was a major scholar in the Hanbali school. His father was too, right? He wrote a book. Sheikh Sulaiman wrote a book refuting his brother and his followers. He called it
the divine
Sawa'ib
lightning, right?
al-Ilahiyya ala, the divine lightning. Uh, but the people that he wrote the book refuting, he called them al-Wahhabiyya. Who is he talking about? Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab, the leader of the Salafis today, right? The Wahhabiyya. So let's clear it up. We don't call them Salafis, we call them Wahhabis.
That's who they are.
They call themselves Salafi, hoping to link themselves to the Salaf. I mean, that's who they are, yeah. But let's clear it up. They're not Salafi, they're Wahhabi.
Let's air it out. Let's air it out. and I think
they call themselves whatever they want.
They transitioned themselves because what Ibn Abdul Wahhab did, like he killed believers in the Haram.
He got so much blood on his hands, man.
He got blood. He got Muslim blood on his hands. So they wanted the second generation, and they wanted to distance themselves from that. Yeah. That's what we call them. The horns of Shaitan. So the Salafi, I mean the Arab, the Saudi, not Arab, sorry, the Saudi shuyukh, good brother. They are the second. I think we're in the third generation of Wahhabism. That second generation was Bin Baz, Uthaymin, all of them. The stars.
Yeah.
They were more political.
Third wave, you could say, yeah.
Yeah, so we're in the third wave now with the Fawzans and all of them. I don't know who the big ones are now, but in short, all of the Saudi clerics, they now they refer themselves to be Salafi because there's so much dirt associated with the term and name Wahhabi, and there was a term when they did at the time when they were proud to call themselves Wahhabi because Ibn Abdul Wahhab looked like he was, they thought he was the big man and he fought jihad and he took power. He didn't gain power. He took the power, and he got a lot of blood on his hands. So at the time, they were proud to call themselves the Wahhabiyya, the followers of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. I don't call him Muhammad. Ibn Abdul Wahhab. So once everybody started to find out about this guy, all of his innovations, he did clear innovations, his treachery towards the Ummah. The clerics at that time, they was like, listen, y'all, we got to be a little bit. I didn't see any actual footage, and I wasn't there, but history.
Matter of fact,
if
he killed his
evidence
own brother,
in history.
Right?
Well, he tried. He tried to whack his brother. He failed.
No, he killed him. They tortured him to death.
I thought he tried to whack him, and then they imprisoned him before they
multiple times
tortured him, right?
Multiple times. It happened multiple times, but they finally
caught
him,
Sulaiman.
and then they tortured him.
And mind you, Sheikh Sulaiman was actually a sheikh. Ibn Abdul Wahhab was not.
He was
His
actually a sheikh in the Hanbali Madhhab. Yeah,
I heard Sheikh Yusuf say in our
yeah.
course, the Divine Lightning. I heard him say that their dad used to look at Ibn Abdul Wahhab and was like, how much evil is going to come out of this boy when he was a young boy. That's what his father, who was a sheikh, his father was a Hanbali sheikh. A Hanbali sheikh looked at his own son and said that about him. And mind you, the Salafis nowadays are not scared to, they're proud of Ibn Abdul Wahhab. I seen the videos of the big YouTube
Yeah,
stars. They
definitely.
saying like the truth of Ibn Abdul Wahhab, Mujaddid Ibn Abdul Wahhab. Na'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim.
Mm,
So, in short, good
nah.
brother, he said innovations like what? Well, you got to go through the channel, good brother. We ain't got time for that today. Look at our
I tell
group,
you,
Ibrahim.
I give you one. I give you one innovation that should be enough to say this individual did some disgusting actions, which would be uh, he made takfir of the entire ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for
That's the
something that he
biggest
can
one.
that was not even an issue of belief versus non-belief. That that's enough, okay.
Complete,
That's
complete
enough.
misunderstanding. He even said like Ibrahim.
Yes.
He said out his mouth, nobody understood. Not even my own teachers understood La ilaha illallah before me. Now this is the
That's what he said.
grandfather.
Nobody
This the
understood La
daddy.
ilaha illallah.
Not
Yeah,
even my own teachers.
he's that's what he said. Not even
Not
my
his
own teachers.
daddy.
And if one of
Nobody.
them says that they understood it, he is a liar. That's what he said. Now, if you want to follow
Come on
that,
now.
then tafaddal, habibi. But that's not Islam.
Ain't Islam. Like he's the
That is
grandfather.
not
He's the
Islam.
pappy of the Salafis. He's the daddy of the Salafis. No Salafi today has any relevancy unless they go through Ibn Abdul Wahhab. Ain't no being Salafi,
That's the
and
Islam.
and you think you just following the hadiths and the Prophet and and the Sahaba. Ain't none of that. No, their whole curriculum is built off of Ibn Abdul Wahhab, and then they fuse in some statements from hadith scholars, and illustrious teachers. That's what this show was about because they misuse the classical texts in order to prove their Wahhabism. So, good question, Ibrahim. Good question. Good question. So we're gonna wrap this up. I know brother gotta get back to work. I gotta get back to my Saturday. Inshallah ta'ala. Abu Isa, inshallah, Ustad, Imam Abu Isa, inshallah, Talik Abu Isa, Al-Hanbali, Abu Isa Good and Al-Hanbali. I appreciate it coming on, taking the time out,
Inshallah.
Habibi, and sharing your experience, man. Because this ain't knowledge. This is an experience, man. And y'all give
Alhamdulillah.
y'all inshallah ta'ala, y'all make dua for the brother, man. He's a serious student of knowledge. He's actually like back and forth overseas in the trenches. He's in the trenches and he's from the hood. So y'all make it dua for the brother. Make dua for me as well. Make dua for the brother that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protects him on his mission and allows him to succeed on his mission. He's really putting in work. I don't like to cut anybody's throat, but we don't talk about this kind of stuff enough. He's an African American. He's from the community. He's from the culture, and he's making great sacrifices to go and get that knowledge and then bring it back to his folks. That's more of what we need, y'all. So y'all make dua for the brother. Definitely make dua for me with our initiatives and with our efforts. With that, you got anything else before we close out, Asa?
Now, yeah, I'll just say this, man. Look, this is not to give ammo for argumentation. This is not an attack on anybody who calls themselves Salafi. It's just an invitation to Ahl Sunnah. It's an invitation to Islam. It's an invitation to ilm. It's an invitation to haqq. That's all it is. Don't take it personally. Just open up a book and read it. That's all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala aid the Muslims and rid us of the uh, uh, the fitna that has been caused by such individuals as Ibn Abdul Wahhab, as you mentioned. So, you know, let's really learn this deen and start to practice it as it was supposed to be practiced, according to a sanad that goes back to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, according to the way of his companions that they passed down to their students, and they passed down to their students, and they passed down to their students, all the way till it gets to us today. Bismillah ta'ala. Allahumma ameen. Allahumma ameen. Thumma Allahumma ameen. That's all I have.
Hey, we got a special guest. So this is the problem, and this is
Who that?
why
Jomo?
no, brother John Johnson. We got this is our problem. So he just gave us the evidence of why we making these videos, and obviously the brother
Mm.
John. Hey, John Johnson, I would love like if you're not gonna cuss and fuss, if you can hold up in an intellectual conversation, good brother. I would love to invite you to our platform and let's talk. Yeah, he cussing us out. We get this often, you know what I'm saying? Uh,
I'm
I don't
just
know if that's
saying,
what
like,
y'all learning
instead of
over
saying
there.
something like that, being disrespectful, why not disprove it, akhi?
That's all I'm saying. That's what we doing, John Johnson. So I think you just got on here. I don't know if you watched the whole video before you commented or not, but like the brother just said, like that's ironic. Like he actually put those disrespectful remarks up in the midst of you making dua, in the midst of you saying like this ain't an attack. We're not trying to slight anybody. We're just trying to impart knowledge.
You know,
So this is the reason. This is
alhamdulillah.
why my ignorant self, according to Sheikh John Johnson, that this is why my ignorant self, Abu Isa's ignorant self, and the rest of the 18, my little gang that we got, man, this is the reason why we are speaking out. This right here, because we got so much steam, so much flack going on in our community, to the point where they're not even considering us to be Muslims. They don't want to marry us, and they're mistaken. They're sadly and badly mistaken. So we're trying to put some straightening on this, and we coming at it from a technical and a contextual and from an actual Salafi point of view. Good brother. So inshallah, yeah, I don't know if he said we proved nothing. You literally done nothing and slandered a whole group. Slander would, brother. I don't know if they
Slander.
teach
Okay.
y'all what slander is, but the actual fiqh definition of slander is like when you say something behind somebody's back and it's not true. Everything we said is true. It's in the books. It's in y'all's books. It's what's taught. That so we speak from facts. Like if you watch any of the other videos,
You know
John
what?
Johnson,
I tell you what.
we
What's his name? John Johnson. Can you
John
give me an
Johnson,
example of our slander?
JJ, good old JJ.
JJ. JJ. Can you give me an example of how we slandered a whole group, please?
He said if you want to actually go into the books of fiqh and aqidah, then we can. Okay, John Johnson, put in the
We just talked
comments
about all
what
that.
book of fiqh. Right, I don't think you've seen the video. What book of fiqh what can we discuss, John Johnson?
Or
Put it in the
and name a
comments.
book of Aqidah as well, please. Because
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was the
yeah.
topic of discussion. So name a book
Yeah.
of Aqidah, please.
I love and mind you, John Johnson. I've been trying to get a Salafi to come on. Well, I've got this a couple Salafis to come on the platform, and I had to slaughter them. They wanted to debate instead of discuss, so I had to bust them down. But if
Hmm.
if you can, I'd love to have a conversation with you, man. I hate for this conversation to be one sided. It's an Akina Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That's not an Akida book, good brother. That's what we talking about. That's the problem.
Aqidah, Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Who's the author? Who's the author?
But that's not a fiqh book. That's not an Akida book. John Johnson. He said Usulu fiqh ala Ahlus Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Is that a fiqh book that they read,
All right,
or is
okay,
he just
okay.
saying
My
Arabic
advice
words?
is let's not even. I think he's just talking. Don't even pay no
Yeah.
attention. He ain't serious about
Okay.
nothing.
Hey, John
Don't
Johnson,
even waste your
hit
time.
me in the inbox, man. Abdul Kabir Al Maliki. I think my information can be seen on here. Hit me in the inbox, man. We're gonna let's set up a conversation. So wait, if you don't know okay. Now I think he's just heckling. He might be a troll. I don't know. But listen, listen, John Johnson. I'm gonna make you famous, man. uh, uh, come on the platform, brother. Come talk to us, man. Like we ain't gonna disrespect you. Let's keep it scholarly. I assume you're a scholar. Keep it scholarly. You know, let's be respectful. We Muslims. We say La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. We already established that y'all are Muslims. We got some straightening that we got to work out. So, brother, find that fiqh book you want to conversate, and we're gonna set it up. Hit me on the back. We got to get off here. I got to get the brother back to his life. But that's the exact reason why I do these videos, man. There's all this heat. It's a lot of heat out there, man. Yeah, John Johnson, hit me up, man. Hit me up, and we gonna get it together, man. He said everything is coming straight from the Arabic. All right,
Okay.
let's do it
Alhamdulillah.
then. let's get with it then. Let's get with it. Nobody has survived, John Johnson. You'll be the first. You'll be the first. There have been a few that tried, and those dragons have been slayed badly. So come correct, John Johnson. If you don't come correct, man, they'll be making no videos about me about how I yelled at you and I was not nice to you and my character was bad and all that. Don't be doing all of that, man, because that's what the other dudes did. They couldn't go pound for pound, hadith for hadith, fiqh principle for fiqh principle. They couldn't keep it right there. So when we hung up, they went on their platforms and got to talk about how mean of a brother I was. I'm going to tell you right now, John Johnson, I'm mean. Anybody know me, I'm me. I'm a junkyard dog, man. I'm gonna tell you straight up, man. And I'm from the hood. I don't know where you from, but I'm from the hood. So I'm tough. I tough talk. But at the end of the day, I love you for the sake of Allah. You're a Muslim, and we just try to put some straightening on this thing. So don't be emotional. Don't be. He said me too. Okay, well, don't be emotional. Hit me in the inbox, and we gonna set it up. John Johnson. He said South Side Chicago. All right. Well, I'm from the West Side of Cincinnati. Yeah, y'all was number 12 on the murder on the murder rap. We was number 10. So what you talking about, Southside Chicago? I don't know. I don't know if John. Actually, if John is Salafi. I don't know. I don't know. And actually, one of our contributors is he's an OG. He an OG in Chicago. So I might how you get with the brother. You know what I'm saying? We got folks out there. I might how you get with the brother. But we gonna sign out, man. We gonna sign out. That was we needed that. I need that joke. But I love all y'all for the sake of Allah. If we said anything wrong, it does not belong to Allah. It does not belong to His Messenger. It does not belong to the Sahaba, the Salafi Salihin, or any of the illustrious scholars. Once again, we're students of knowledge. We're bringing this to you like that. We're narrators. We bringing this to you just like that. We're gonna say what it said by the actual Salafi Salihin per actual Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. That's it. That's all. So inshallah, said, "What's your name?" Put it in the chat. It's Abdul Kabir Al Maliki. Brother, this is what I'm gonna do, John Johnson. I'm gonna find you. You ain't gotta find me. I ain't never been the type dude to be like, post the Addy. Nah. I pull up on the Addy. You ain't gotta find me. I'll come find you, John Johnson. Don't worry about that. We're gonna get with it. We're gonna get with it. I know y'all for the sake of Allah. Kulli qawla hadha wa astaghfirullah wa la ilaha illallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.